All right, Celtics Nation. Today we are diving into some of the most intriguing trade rumors surrounding the Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks. The league is buzzing with talk about a potential shakeup in Dallas, with the Mavericks possibly planning a significant fire sale as they pivot toward the future. The focus is reportedly on building around their promising young star, Cooper Flagg, the #1 overall pick, who has the potential to become a cornerstone for years to come. This approach suggests that the Mavericks might move some of their veteran talent to create room for growth, and that opens up opportunities for teams like Boston to explore potential acquisitions. The idea here is that while the Mavericks aim to reshape their roster around a generational talent, other teams, including the Celtics, could take advantage of Dallas's willingness to trade, acquiring players who could make an immediate impact in the Eastern Conference. The Celtics, who are carefully navigating the return of Jason Tatum from injury, might be just a piece or two away from making a stronger push this season, and the rumors coming out of Dallas provide a potential avenue for that improvement. Now, while there's no guarantee of any blockbuster moves, reports have hinted that several key Mavericks players could be available. Anthony Davis's name has surfaced in discussions, although Mark Cuban has publicly stated that the team does not plan to trade him. Of course, we know that in the NBA, teams rarely reveal their true intentions to the public. The comments made by ownership might be strategic, aimed at managing expectations and keeping leverage in any trade negotiations. If the Mavericks were willing to entertain offers for Anthony Davis, the Celtics would have to navigate a complicated landscape involving luxury tax implications and potentially multi-team deals, which could resemble previous high-profile trades in the league. While acquiring a player like Davis could be transformative, it comes with risks, particularly as he approaches the latter stages of his career and has had a history of injuries that have limited his playing time this season. This makes a direct trade for Davis a complex proposition, even if Boston were willing to explore it. Beyond Davis, the list of potential Mavericks trade candidates includes players like Dante Exum, Caleb Martin, Jaden Hardy, and D'Angelo Russell. While not all of them would fit the Celtics' roster construction or salary structure, the conversation around Caleb Martin is intriguing. He offers experience, versatility, and scoring ability, but his contract might be a limiting factor. Exum, Hardy, and Russell, on the other hand, come with either large contracts or limited impact this season, making them less attractive trade targets for Boston, especially considering the team's current needs and financial considerations. Other Mavericks players who might be of interest include Daniel Gafford, a strong, physical center with the ability to dominate around the rim and provide elite rebounding and rim protection. Gafford's production and durability make him a more realistic trade target for Boston, especially if they are looking to strengthen their interior defense and presence in the paint. A trade involving Gafford could potentially be structured by sending out an expiring deal like Anthony Simon's contract along with a first-round pick, possibly involving a third team to balance salary and create cap flexibility. This kind of maneuvering highlights how strategic trades can be, balancing immediate roster improvement with long-term financial planning. Meanwhile, players like Najee Marshall also provide value as versatile wings capable of defending multiple positions, hitting three-point shots, and contributing on the boards. However, given Boston's depth and focus on developing young wings, adding Marshall might create redundancy rather than a net benefit to the rotation. The Celtics would need to weigh whether bringing in Marshall at his current contract makes sense within the context of their roster strategy and development priorities. Max Christie, another young Maverick, stands out as a potential target due to his 3-and-D skill set, impressive shooting percentages, and youth. At just 22 years old, Christie represents a player with upside who could contribute immediately while still having room to grow. For Boston, acquiring someone like Christie could strengthen their perimeter defense, provide floor spacing, and add a dynamic shooter to the rotation. Given the Celtics' current roster composition, he might be the most complementary piece available from Dallas if a trade were to materialize. Evaluating these possibilities requires considering both the Celtics' short-term ambitions and long-term development plan. With Jason Tatum returning from injury, Boston may only need one or two additional pieces to solidify their championship contention window. While blockbuster trades involving veteran stars like Anthony Davis are exciting to speculate about, the more realistic opportunities may lie in acquiring role players or rising talents who can fit seamlessly into the Celtics system. Players like Daniel Gafford, Max Christie, or even Caleb Martin, depending on how their contracts can be managed, offer targeted improvements without jeopardizing the team's future flexibility. Each potential trade scenario would also involve careful consideration of salary cap implications, luxury tax concerns, and draft asset management, all of which are critical for a team like Boston that balances the pursuit of immediate success with long-term sustainability. Additionally, the Mavericks' reported interest in rebuilding around Cooper Flagg indicates that they are likely to evaluate every asset through the lens of maximizing future potential. For Boston, this means that even if Dallas publicly states that a player like Anthony Davis is not available, there may still be opportunities to explore other valuable pieces. The dynamics of NBA trades often involve behind-the-scenes discussions that do not immediately surface to the public, so Celtics management could be engaging in preliminary conversations to gauge interest and explore creative ways to structure deals. Even players who may seem like marginal upgrades on paper, such as a versatile guard or a sharpshooting wing, could have an outsized impact on Boston's playoff push, particularly if they complement existing stars and fit the team's defensive and offensive schemes. The timing of these potential trades is also important. As the trade deadline approaches, teams like Boston will have to make critical decisions about whether to pursue upgrades aggressively or focus on developing internal talent. With several Mavericks players reportedly available, the Celtics could leverage this window to strengthen their roster in specific areas without taking on undue risk. Gafford's rim protection and rebounding, Christie's perimeter shooting, or Martin's versatility each offer targeted benefits, and the team would need to assess which combination aligns best with both immediate championship aspirations and long-term roster balance. The discussions about trading for Dallas players also highlight how interconnected the league is. Teams across the NBA are constantly monitoring each other's moves, and the ripple effects of a single trade can impact multiple franchises. For Boston, being proactive in these discussions could allow them to identify opportunities that others might overlook, acquiring complementary pieces that enhance the team's strengths while mitigating weaknesses. The complexity of potential trades, including multi-team negotiations and contract matching, underscores the importance of strategic planning and timing in roster management. By examining the Mavericks situation, it becomes clear that Boston has several angles to consider. From evaluating the potential fit of young, ascending players like Max Christie, to assessing the durability and skill set of a veteran center like Daniel Gafford, the Celtics can approach the trade market with a targeted strategy. The balance between immediate impact and long-term flexibility will guide the front office's decisions, with the goal of improving the roster in ways that maximize their chances of success in the Eastern Conference and beyond. This sets the stage for a fascinating few weeks in the NBA trade landscape, as Boston navigates potential opportunities arising from Dallas's rebuilding process. The strategic considerations for the Celtics revolve around identifying players who provide meaningful contributions, complement the current roster, and align with the team's broader goals. With several Mavericks potentially available and Boston's roster on the cusp of being even stronger once Tatum returns, the next moves could have a significant impact on the Celtics' trajectory this season. Continuing with the Celtics' potential trade strategies, let's dive deeper into the players who could realistically impact Boston's roster if the Mavericks do decide to make moves. While Anthony Davis is the headline name, his age, injury history, and current playing time make him a complicated proposition. The Celtics would have to weigh the short-term benefits against the risks of adding a player who may not be fully available for the playoffs. Acquiring Davis would likely require a multi-team trade involving salary matching and draft picks, a scenario that could be risky considering Boston's current championship window and the return of Jason Tatum. It is far more likely that Boston's front office would explore players who can fill specific needs and offer long-term upside, such as improving defense, three-point shooting, and depth across multiple positions. The emphasis would be on complementing the existing core rather than creating instability or overloading one area of the roster. Daniel Gafford remains a standout option in this scenario. At 6 feet 10 inches, Gafford provides elite rim protection and rebounding while also being a lob threat on offense. Over the last several seasons, he has consistently posted double-digit rebound numbers and efficient scoring around the rim, making him a player who could immediately impact Boston's front court. Despite not having a three-point shot to stretch the floor, his ability to finish inside, contest shots, and protect the paint makes him a natural fit for the Celtics' defensive schemes. Structuring a trade for Gafford could involve sending an expiring contract like Anthony Simons along with a first-round pick, potentially involving a third team to balance salaries. This kind of strategic move allows Boston to upgrade their interior without compromising long-term flexibility, which is essential given their aspirations in the Eastern Conference. Gafford's durability compared to players like Anthony Davis or Derek Lively further enhances his appeal as a low-risk, high-impact acquisition. Max Christie represents a different type of opportunity. At just 22 years old, Christie is a young 3-and-D wing with an impressive shooting percentage from beyond the arc. His ability to space the floor, defend multiple positions, and contribute in transition makes him an ideal fit for Boston's style of play, particularly as they look to balance veteran leadership with youth and athleticism. Christie's age and potential upside also make him a longer-term investment, giving the Celtics a player who could grow alongside their core while making meaningful contributions immediately. Adding Christie could help address spacing issues and provide a reliable shooter on the perimeter, which is increasingly important in modern NBA play. The Celtics would need to evaluate which existing contracts could be included in a potential deal, but Christie's skill set and age make him a very attractive target for Boston if Dallas is open to negotiations. Najee Marshall, although a capable wing with versatility and defensive ability, presents a more nuanced case. He is a solid shooter, a capable rebounder, and has shown playmaking ability, but Boston already has depth at the wing positions with players who could defend multiple positions and contribute offensively. Bringing Marshall into the rotation could create redundancy rather than filling a specific need. While his contract is reasonable and his skill set is valuable for many teams, the Celtics would need to carefully consider how his addition would impact the development of their young wings and rotation balance. If the front office decides to pursue Marshall, it would likely be in the context of acquiring multiple pieces or structuring a broader trade that addresses several needs simultaneously. Otherwise, Christie or Gafford may offer more immediate, high-impact value. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. The basketball world is buzzing with what could be the most shocking move of the season. Whispers are growing louder that the Boston Celtics have secured a mega deal for Damian Lillard. Though nothing has been officially confirmed, insiders suggest that the Celtics front office has been in aggressive talks for weeks, and sources close to the situation hint that both sides are optimistic about a groundbreaking agreement. If true, this would mark one of the boldest acquisitions in recent NBA history, potentially reshaping the balance of power in the Eastern Conference. Fans are already imagining the implications. A superstar guard known for his deep-range shooting, clutch performances, and leadership on the court, now donning the green and white. Lillard's arrival could inject a new level of intensity and excitement into a Celtics squad that has long been chasing championship glory. Social media is alight with speculation, and hashtags linking Lillard to Boston have started trending within hours of the initial leak. Analysts are debating whether this move signals a new win-now mentality for the franchise, with some suggesting it could push the Celtics straight into title contention. The potential chemistry between Lillard and the Celtics' current core is a hot topic among fans and commentators alike. Questions abound. How will he mesh with the existing stars? Will he take the lead in crunch time? Or will the team adjust its strategy around his prolific scoring? Inside sources suggest that the Celtics are confident in their ability to integrate Lillard seamlessly, banking on his experience and leadership to elevate the squad. Meanwhile, other teams in the conference are reportedly taking notice, with some executives openly expressing concern over Boston's newfound firepower. Of course, a deal of this magnitude is never without controversy. Salary cap implications, player movement, and the potential domino effect across the league are all points of heated discussion. Some skeptics question whether such a high-profile acquisition could disrupt team chemistry, while supporters argue that it represents exactly the type of bold gamble that defines championship teams. Regardless of the opinions, the buzz is undeniable. The Celtics-Lillard saga has captured the imagination of basketball enthusiasts everywhere, and the rumor mill shows no sign of slowing down. While official confirmation remains pending, the mere possibility of Damian Lillard in Boston has already sent shockwaves through the NBA community. Every outlet, podcast, and fan forum seems to be dissecting the what-ifs and projecting the potential highlights of this blockbuster acquisition. Whether this deal comes to fruition or not, it's clear that the Celtics are making headlines in a way few teams could ever hope to achieve. The excitement, the speculation, and the anticipation are all building toward what could be a historic chapter in the team's storied history. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.